friends, welcome to Polish Mama Cooks. Today, together with my friend Katarzyna from Polish Girl Next Door, we will be answering question, what Polish people actually think about Polish food. I am Polish, born and raised, and I only immigrated to US a few years ago. So I have a slightly different perspective than Katarzyna, who lived and was born here in the United States. I would like to know your answers to those questions as well. So in the comments, please make sure to answer all the questions. If you're not Polish, make sure to answer with the questions about your country. I can't wait to read them.
What is your favorite Polish beer?
I am a fan of dark beer, of beer that are locally made in Poland. That is hard to get here in the US. But in my Polish store, there are three that I really like. One is Żywiec Porter, which is a dark, beautiful beer that I use for cooking and to have a glass. Second one will be Tyskie or regular Żywiec. And the third one, which is surprising, will be Okocim with no alcohol in it. And I spent my first pregnancy in Czech Republic, so I do have a taste of a few different non-alcoholic beers.
A frequent drinker, but when I do recollect some of the beer I used to have, and the beer that my family gravitated towards the most was Żywiec. It was good. I remember it being good.
What is the strangest Polish food you have eaten?
There isn't that many things that are strange for me. But for my foreign friends, there are, I think, three most weirdest things that they have eaten with me. One will be czarnina, which is a soup made from blood of a duck or a goose that traditionally was served to a bachelor's refusal to get the bride. Second was flaki. And this is basically a soup made from beef tripes. And the third one would be warm ice cream, which is a dessert based on egg white mousse topped with chocolate and in a waffle.
Strangest Polish food I have ever eaten, and this doesn't mean that it's bad because I actually enjoy this, are flaki. Flaki are cut up strips of a cow's stomach, and they are kind of almost used in lieu of noodles in a soup, like in a rosu, a chicken soup. So it's presented to you as a soup, and it's very unique, very strange. In fact, if you've never had it and no one told you, oh, this is what it actually is, you probably wouldn't even think twice about it.
If you could eat only one Polish dish for the rest of your life, which would it be?
One dish to eat for the rest of my life, Polish dish, it would be kotlety schabowe with a side of fried cabbage and a Polish beer with some ginger syrup. I remember my mom made it almost every winter Saturday, minus the beer, when I was coming from a ski trip, and it just brings beautiful memories.
To eat only one Polish meal for the rest of my life, it would for sure be pierogi. Mostly because you can fill them with so many different flavors. They can be savory, they can be sweet, you can have meat, you can make them vegetarian. The options are endless.
What Polish meal are you a master at preparing?
I have to say that I constantly learn from books, from videos, but the thing that I learned to nail is everything with cabbage. So bigos, gołąbki, or for example, surówki.
Specifically enjoy making jajecznica, which is scrambled eggs with chanterelle mushrooms. I always remember making that in Poland or having my grandmother make it for me, and I like to keep my jajecznica really moist.
Which meal is the most difficult and time-consuming to prepare?
Polish cuisine in its tradition is hard to do and time-consuming. I can name from top of my head 3 to 4 meals that just take a lot of time, for example, pierogi. But I think the hardest thing to do is to make things that you can easily make disgusting taste very good, like kidneys, liver, or
In my
spinach.
opinion, the most time-consuming meal to make is pierogi. Pierogi because if you are going for really good pierogi, the kind that people will talk about for months and years, you have to make everything from scratch. When you're making pierogi, you're not just making enough pierogi for one meal or for one family. You're making hundreds of pierogi. You're making hundreds of pierogi with, 3 or 4 different fillings. So there's a lot of time and literal space in the kitchen that is consumed. For instance, you need like the entire table to make the dough, to cut up the dough. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work. You need multiple people with you to help you. At least I do. Actually, I've never made pierogi, so I would know, but I've witnessed people making pierogi.
Do you ever purchase ready-made Polish meals? Which product do you recommend?
Funny enough, I did buy more Polish ready-made meals when I lived in Poland than I do now. I would buy pierogi, krokiety, or babka drożdżowa. But most of the things that I do buy is ogórki kiszone, which are pickled cucumbers, and sauerkraut, which is kapusta kiszona, to prepare my meals.
I recommend buying sometimes pierogi. And the brand that I specifically recommend, Alexandra's Homestyle Pierogi. They are by far the best store-bought pierogi I've ever had.
Thank you for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed this perspective on Polish food. Please give me big thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you and see you next time. Bye bye.